I don't know whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything. You hear what they trying to do?
Yeah.
Do you see the scenario they trying to lay out? They pretty much like, yo, even if you get free from this, we're gonna get reputation up so bad.
Here's the thing. When someone like Stevie J, a music producer with a reputation as colorful as the beats he's crafted, starts dropping hints about a man as powerful and polarizing as Sean Diddy Combs, the world can't help but listen. And let's be real, this isn't your average industry gossip. We're talking about a man who spent decades standing shoulder to shoulder with Diddy, not just as a collaborator, but as a close friend. So what's changed? Why is Stevie J suddenly peeling back the curtains on their relationship and hinting at dark, uncomfortable truths about the music mogul? Let's dive in, because there's more to the story than meets the eye.
I haven't been charged with shit. Y'all painting this picture of me to be a monster.
Well, he has been charged.
I mean, he hasn't been
convicted.
He hasn't been convicted.
He has been charged.
All right.
Let's just keep it fair.
He hasn't been convicted.
Correct. No, he's innocent until proven guilty. That's the way the law works. Look, at the end of the day, if he got...
Stevie J recently sat down in a series of interviews, and while he danced around some of the more damning accusations, he dropped enough breadcrumbs to get people talking. He's described moments of feeling uneasy, of seeing a side of Diddy that the public might not recognize. In fact, one of the most jaw-dropping moments came when Stevie hinted that Daddy had crossed personal boundaries with him, an implication that's left fans and critics alike stunned. Stevie didn't spell it all out, but he didn't have to. His tone, the way he spoke about their past, and the cryptic comments about Diddy's behavior were enough to set the rumor mill on fire.
But at the end of the day, unfortunately, because he's about 55 years old?
Yes.
He can't take a 20-year plea deal. He's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A 20-year-old could take that. A 55-year-old cannot, because that'll essentially be life. So he has to fight it.
But let's back up for a second. Stevie J and Diddy's relationship goes way back, like golden era hip-hop back. Stevie was one of the masterminds behind Bad Boy Records' biggest hits, crafting the soundtracks to some of the most iconic moments in music history. He worked on tracks for the Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and 112, becoming an integral part of Diddy's inner circle. Over the years, their professional relationship morphed into a personal one. They were more than colleagues. They were family, or so it seemed. Stevie has often credited Diddy for jumpstarting his career, even recounting how Diddy handed him a stack of cash the first time they met, as if to say, "You're one of us now." That kind of loyalty doesn't just disappear overnight. So, what changed?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we got to just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to stop being there for someone I consider to be a friend to me.
As you should.
I'm not going to turn my back. And it's like, I've been scrutinized just by being a friend. I guess someone never had a true friend before.
No, man, it's all good. I think you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
You know?
And ultimately, we'll see how it plays out.
That's
it.
For years, Stevie was one of Diddy's most vocal supporters, standing by him even as whispers of misconduct began circling in the industry. But cracks in their friendship began appearing not long after damning footage of Diddy surfaced online, showing him in a compromising and deeply troubling moment with his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. That video, which left little room for interpretation, seemed to serve as a wake-up call for Stevie. He admitted in one interview that seeing the footage left him shaken. "I didn't know he had that in him," Stevie confessed. He's since described Diddy as being in a dark place during that time, even alleging that substances may have played a role in his behavior. Still, Stevie's revelations are complicated, and his motivations aren't exactly transparent. After all, this is someone who's no stranger to controversy himself. Stevie has faced his own share of allegations over the years, ranging from financial troubles to accusations of misconduct. Some critics argue that his sudden willingness to speak out against Diddy feels calculated, a way to distance himself from a sinking ship while redirecting attention away from his own issues. Is Stevie genuinely trying to expose the truth, or is he simply trying to save his own skin? It's a question that's hard to ignore, especially when you consider the rumors swirling about his alleged cooperation with federal authorities.
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
Yes, you heard that right. According to whispers in the industry, Stevie J might be working with the FBI as part of their ongoing investigation into Diddy. It's a wild claim, but not entirely far-fetched when you consider the context. Diddy's legal troubles have been mounting at an alarming rate, with allegations spanning everything from coercion to orchestrated misconduct. If Stevie is indeed cooperating with investigators, it could explain why he's suddenly speaking out after years of silence. But it also paints a picture of someone who's trying to rewrite their own narrative, positioning themselves as a whistleblower rather than a complicit bystander.
Now, so what is next? Is he going to be in jail in this facility until the trial begins? Is there a chance he could, get moved earlier than that?
As of this moment, as of this hour, as of today, yes. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, they're going to be appealing this thing next to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to overturn the judge's order here to try and get him actually released to his mansion.
And let's not forget, Stevie isn't exactly painting himself as a saint in all of this. He's admitted to witnessing things during his time with Diddy that made him uncomfortable, moments that he now regrets not speaking up about sooner. "I saw stuff," he said in one interview, his voice tinged with a mix of guilt and defiance. But you gotta understand, back then, it was different. We were all just trying to survive in this industry. It's a candid admission, but one that raises even more questions. If Stevie saw red flags years ago, why didn't he say anything then? Why wait until now, when Diddy's empire is already crumbling under the weight of scandal? Of course, Stevie's relationship with Diddy isn't the only thing fueling speculation. His own legal battles have left him in a precarious position, and some believe that his newfound willingness to talk is a strategic move to curry favor with authorities. It's a theory that's hard to dismiss, especially when you consider the timing of his revelations. With Diddy's trial looming and more allegations surfacing by the day, Stevie's decision to speak out now feels less like a coincidence and more like a calculated play.
You know, a very bad Hollywood story. And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these.
But here's where things get even murkier. While Stevie has been vocal about his disillusionment with Diddy, he's also been careful not to completely sever ties with his former friend. In one breath, he describes feeling betrayed and hurt by Diddy's actions. In the next, he's defending him against critics, insisting that the man he knew was better than this. It's a contradictory stance that only adds to the intrigue, leaving fans to wonder where Stevie's loyalties truly lie. Is he a victim, a reluctant participant, or something else entirely? And then there's the matter of Stevie's own reputation. Let's not forget this is a man who's built a career as much on controversy as on talent. From his tumultuous personal life to his headline-grabbing antics on reality TV, Stevie has never been one to shy away from the spotlight. Some argue that his recent comments about Diddy are just another way to stay relevant, a calculated move to keep his name in the headlines at a time when the industry's focus is squarely on Diddy's downfall. Whether or not that's true is anyone's guess, but it's clear that Stevie's motivations are far from straightforward.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
As Stevie continues to navigate the fallout from his revelations, one thing is certain: his relationship with Diddy will never be the same. What started as a friendship built on mutual respect and shared ambition has devolved into a tangled web of accusations, regrets, and conflicting narratives. Stevie's decision to speak out has undoubtedly put him in the spotlight, but it's also raised questions about his own role in the events he's now condemning. Was he a bystander who turned a blind eye, or was he an active participant in a culture of misconduct that's only now coming to light?
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
And what about the rumors of his cooperation with the FBI? If Stevie is indeed working with investigators, his testimony could be a game changer, potentially leading to more high-profile arrests and revelations about Diddy's alleged crimes. But it could also backfire, painting Stevie as someone who's willing to sell out his friends to save himself. It's a precarious position, one that leaves him walking a fine line between hero and villain. As the story unfolds, the world will be watching to see what Stevie J does next. Will he continue to speak out, revealing even more about his time with Diddy? Or will he retreat into the shadows, leaving the public to piece together the puzzle on their own? One thing's for sure, this saga is far from over, and the ripple effects of Stevie's revelations are only just beginning to be felt. And with Diddy's trial on the horizon, the stakes have never been higher.
The special housing unit is a 24-hour lockdown unit, which means that any movement within that unit is controlled and coordinated, and no inmate moves outside of his cell without being in full restraints, to include leg irons, handcuffs, a belly chain, and at least 2, if not 3 staff members escorting them.
But the story only gets more tangled from here. Stevie J's hints, accusations, and murky motivations are just the tip of the iceberg. What makes this scandal far-reaching isn't just the fallout between him and Diddy. It's the shocking web of names that have surfaced alongside these allegations. The entertainment industry is buzzing with whispers of who might have been involved, who turned a blind eye, and who might be next to face scrutiny. And let's be honest, when the allegations start to implicate A-list celebrities and powerful industry figures, it's not just a scandal anymore. It's a full-blown reckoning. The so-called Diddy list floating around social media has turned heads for good reason. It's a list filled with some of the most recognizable names in Hollywood and music. People who, at one time or another, were seen partying with Diddy, attending his infamous gatherings, or simply being part of his inner circle. Names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Usher, Justin Bieber, and Paris Hilton have all been dragged into the conversation. Whether they like it or not, the rumors swirling around these celebrities have created a cloud of curiosity and suspicion. Were they merely bystanders at these events? Or was their involvement deeper than anyone imagined?
Does he have a shot? I think his attorneys raised some good arguments.
I think they raise good arguments as well. Maybe this will be third time's the charm, because the difference between this bail motion and the prior two is that this one really does get to the heart of what the court was concerned about, which was witness intimidation.
Let's start with the most shocking. Justin Bieber, the young pop star, has long been associated with Diddy, who was once considered a mentor to him during his rise to fame. But this mentorship is now being re-examined under a much darker lens. Old interviews have resurfaced where Diddy spoke about his close relationship with Bieber, even joking on live television about their time together. Fans are now questioning the dynamics of this relationship, especially given the allegations against Diddy. Adding fuel to the fire, Justin recently deleted several of his social media posts that referenced Diddy, sparking speculation about why he might be distancing himself. Was it a precautionary move, or does it suggest that there's more to the story? Then there's Usher. Years ago, Usher casually mentioned during an interview that he had stayed at Diddy's house when he was younger. At the time, this revelation seemed harmless, just another anecdote from his early days in the industry. But now, with Diddy's alleged misconduct front and center, fans are revisiting that story with a new perspective. Usher's social media accounts were suddenly wiped of old posts, leading to even more rumors. Did Usher witness something during those early years? And if so, why has he remained silent? It's a question that fans are asking, and the lack of answers only deepens the mystery.
It's pretty interesting because I think, we have seen many photos, videos of Sean Combs, aka Diddy, through the Associated Press, through Instagram. And so to see him kind of in person after being in jail for 3 weeks now was pretty interesting, to say the least. And I say that by being that you would expect him to feel a little defeated, a little gaunt, anything like that. But it wasn't that case. He appeared confident. He stood tall.
And let's not forget Jay-Z and Beyonce. Their names have come up in lawsuits and rumors, though neither has been accused of any wrongdoing. Still, their close association with Diddy over the years has raised eyebrows. Jay-Z, in particular, has been named in at least one lawsuit that also implicates Diddy. According to court documents, both men were allegedly present at certain events where misconduct occurred. While Jay-Z has not publicly addressed these allegations, his silence has left fans wondering whether he'll eventually be forced to respond. Beyonce, on the other hand, has been seen in photos with Diddy at various events, but there's no concrete evidence tying her to any of the alleged wrongdoing. Still, the mere mention of her name in connection with this scandal has caused quite a stir. And then there's the bizarre case of Megan Fox. While her name hasn't appeared in lawsuits, social media sleuths have noticed that she recently deleted all her posts on multiple platforms. Why? No one knows for sure, but the timing is suspicious. Could it be related to Diddy's scandal, or is it just a coincidence? Either way, her silence on the matter has only added to the speculation.
I'm not going to talk about anything that I haven't said in court or in the papers. These are all great questions, but I'm just not going to get into it. So,
can you speak about your concerns about the leak and the video? You have spoken about that before.
I did it in the court papers, and I'm just going to stick to the court papers. As you guys all know, let me just finish. As you all know, I made a request today for what we were calling a gag order, and I'm not going to walk out of court and do anything other than.
Even Khloe Kardashian has been dragged into the conversation. An old clip of her talking about attending one of Diddy's infamous parties has resurfaced, in which she casually mentioned that many of the guests were completely unclothed. At the time, her comments seemed like harmless gossip, but now they're being analyzed for clues about what really went on at these events. Did Khloe witness something that she didn't fully understand at the time? Or is her connection to Diddy being blown out of proportion? Whatever the case, the Kardashians know how to handle controversy, and Khloe has remained tight-lipped about the resurfaced clip. But perhaps the most unsettling part of this whole saga is the systemic nature of the alleged wrongdoing. According to court filings and testimonies, Diddy didn't act alone. He allegedly had a network of assistants, managers, and associates who helped orchestrate and cover up his actions. Some of these individuals are now being implicated in lawsuits, while others are reportedly cooperating with authorities. One name that keeps coming up is Harvey Pierre, the former president of Bad Boy Records. Pierre has denied any wrongdoing. but his close ties to Diddy make him an obvious person of interest. Other names like Stevie J have also been floated as potential collaborators, though Stevie has vehemently denied any involvement.
You can't sue YouTube. You can't sue
Which is crazy.
You can't sue any of the social media platforms. But when you get on an actual network, when you get on a TV station or the radio, when you get on a platform that is attached to a larger corporation, now that corporation is liable for the things that are being said on there.
The more you dig into this story, the more it feels like a house of cards waiting to collapse. With so many high-profile names being dragged into the scandal, it's only a matter of time before someone decides to speak out. But who will it be? Will it be one of the celebrities who attended Diddy's parties? Or one of his former employees who knows the inner workings of his empire? Whoever it is, their testimony could change everything. What makes this situation even more chilling is the sheer scale of the allegations. This isn't just about one or two incidents. It's about a pattern of behavior that allegedly spans decades. And the deeper authorities dig, the more they seem to uncover. Recent raids on Diddy's properties reportedly turn up a treasure trove of evidence, including videos, documents, and other items that could be crucial to the investigation. If these materials are as damning as prosecutors believe, they could lead to even more charges and potentially implicate even more people.
Those situations lend to maybe some issues with tampering. And I do feel like there are victims who are scared to come forward, including my client. She was very nervous about if he was going to get bail this week. And once I told her, and then come after people, including her and some of the other individuals. And she was very relieved when he did not receive bail. So I think.
But here's the thing. Not everyone is convinced that justice will be served. Some fans and industry insiders worry that Diddy's fame and fortune will shield him from the consequences of his actions. After all, he's one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment world with connections that run deep. Will the legal system hold him accountable, or will he find a way to wriggle free? It's a question that's on everyone's mind, and the answer could set a precedent for how the industry handles allegations against its most influential players. As the trial date approaches, the tension is palpable. Diddy's legal team has been working overtime to discredit the allegations, painting them as baseless and opportunistic. Meanwhile, prosecutors are reportedly building a case that they believe will expose the full extent of his misconduct. The stakes couldn't be higher, not just for Diddy, but for everyone connected to him. If the allegations are proven true, it could spell the end of more than just his career. It could bring down an entire network of enablers and collaborators, shaking the entertainment industry to its core.
You know, there's more and more civil lawsuits, but
it's a
lot of these are getting thrown
bogus.
out.
It's a lot of bogusness.
You know, because the same lawsuit that Busby tried to file against Jay-Z with the 13-year-old girl, that's all thrown out.
Do you hear that shit?
And let's be real. The public is hungry for answers. Fans want to know who knew what and when. They want to know why so many people stayed silent for so long. And most importantly, they want to know what will happen next. Will more celebrities be named in lawsuits? Will more evidence come to light? And will anyone from Diddy's inner circle finally break their silence? One thing's for sure, this isn't just a story about Diddy. It's a story about power, privilege, and the dark side of the entertainment industry. It's a story about how far people will go to protect their empires, and what happens when those empires start to crumble. And as more details emerge, it's becoming clear that this is just the beginning. The ripple effects of this scandal will be felt for years to come, leaving no corner of the industry untouched. So, what do you think? Are these celebrities innocent bystanders, or do they have more to answer for? And will Diddy's trial bring the truth to light, or will it leave us with more questions than answers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, stay tuned for more updates on this unfolding saga.